Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, sister.
Hey, sister.
Hey, sisters.
How are you feeling today?
I feel like a cancer patient. I went to dinner last night with Micah. Had the best time ever. We went to Carmel. Ambiance,
Oh.
aesthetic, 10 out of 10. Service, they were pretty good. Food, like a 6.
Because you got sick or taste-wise?
Nah, like it was just okay, taste-wise.
Okay.
I got, we both had eaten a super late lunch. I went to the gym, she went to Pilates like right before, and we both ate like a pretty big lunch. And so I had tuna tartare, hamachi crudo, mussels, and these like lobster sticks. The lobster sticks
Like
were
fried?
really tough. Yeah, like tempura.
Okay.
Lobster sticks. They were really tough.
Their food is like Asian sushi?
I think just seafood in
Oh,
general.
okay.
Not like sushi rolls, but like they do have some raw, like they have oysters, just like fresh
Okay.
fresh seafood. They had like steak. They had whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then we went and got hookah at Divine. And I don't know. I've also had 3 espresso martinis for the night. So I'm like, I think the combination of everything. I got so sick when I got home. Like, I'm like, this was a great night. What a terrible way to end my night.
Yeah,
Came
when
home
you
and
called
threw
me,
up.
I was like, what the fuck happened to you? She called me at dinner and she was so like cute and bubbly,
lively.
like, sister.
I'm alive.
And then when she called and she got home, she's like, I'm back. You okay?
No, my head hurts so badly. So I don't know, maybe this is just what 30 feels like because I had
Trying to be
3
fast.
drinks. I'm like, I feel like I don't feel drunk, but the way my head feels drunk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just
okay.
I'm just here today.
I can give y'all what I can give y'all, nothing more.
Yeah, I have a headache. Anyways.
Okay, sister.
How are you? How was your day? How was your night?
I'm good.
So cute.
Thank you. I've been having a few really, really good days, which is crazy because I'm on my cycle right now, y'all. And this is like a really good period for me. Like, I don't know. PRing in the gym, not really PRing, but I haven't lifted this heavy in a while. But yeah, I've been feeling really, really good. All my workouts have been spectacular. I've been getting great sleep. I've been eating. It could be the increase in calories.
What? I thought I had something in my teeth.
Oh no. It could be the increase in calories. Fuel. Yeah.
What did we say about last episode, bitch? All she needed was to eat.
All I needed was to eat. So maybe that's what it was. But I feel really good. I texted Patrick the first day, Monday. I did my like lighter leg day on Monday. And I texted him and I was like, maybe it's the food. But for this to be the first day of my cycle, I'm pushing shit in here. Like I felt great. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Like this week, nothing can stop me.
Period. Literally.
Literally.
I love that.
Yeah, I feel good. And I think like for the past few weeks, I've been feeling like really like, really low, really bad. Like in general, but just like about myself, about the way that I look, things like that. And so to go into the week bloated, but like also feeling like that bitch, it's a good feeling.
Period.
So yes, I'm excited about how the rest of this week will be. So we'll see.
How's training going? When is your first competition? Have you said that publicly yet? Or are you like...
No, I didn't say it publicly, but I'm going to say it publicly because public accountability. September 26th, I am going to do a show in Carrollton, Georgia.
6 months away.
Yeah, 6 months away, called The Battle of West Georgia. It's a natural show, NPC.
Natty.
Yeah, Natty. And yeah, I'm excited. 6 months. I'm not officially in prep yet, but I have like maybe another 6 to 8 weeks before I start like legit prep. We'll probably do like a 20 to 22 week prep. So we're at like 30 something weeks out now.
What does that look like?
Strict. Right now I'm gonna increase the calories. So like I was at like 17 max, like I think like 1750 calories. I'm up to like, I could eat up to like 2,300 now with cross nutrients. So that is Big Mama been eating. So we're putting on some weight so that we can come back down because I'll have to lose probably from my average weight, what I've been averaging at, which is like 155 to 157. I'll probably have to lose like 20 to 25 pounds for competition. So I'll be skinny. So yeah, we'll see. But training is good right now. I definitely feel like I could tell the difference in the food. I think that's why my training has been so good this week. I'm not tired. I think I'm sleeping good because I'm like fueled properly. But the training isn't the hard part. Even my coach was like, I don't worry about you training. Like I worry about your mental and I worry about you eating. Cause I be having bad eating habits. But I think that's the hardest thing. Like I'll have days where I feel really, really good. And then I have days where I feel like shit. Like I don't like the way that I look. And it's crazy because this is probably the most fit I've ever been, like in my life. Even with me being like an athlete and everything, this is the most fit I've been for sure. And probably the most defined I've ever looked. And I still wake up some days and I'm like, the fuck is going on in the mirror? Like the other day I was filming and I had a whole come apart. I just put the tripod up and put the camera away, bitch. And I don't even think I finished the workout. I mean, I finished the workout, but like my last 3 things were just, I bullshitted through them because I felt awful. And like everybody could tell, like they're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like,
I want to kill my
mom. No, seriously. Like, so this whole journey is just, it's making me have a new love for my body and a new appreciation for not just what it can do, but like what I'm about to put it through. So it's hard, but I think it highlights a lot of my bad mental habits, a lot of my bad eating habits, and like how mean I am to myself. All the things. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
What about your bad eating habits?
I may have said this before, but I don't have a healthy relationship with food, like at all. I have a very, and maybe it comes from like being a fat kid. I don't know, but I have a very like scarcity mindset around food, and not in the sense of like, I think when you hear scarcity, you think like poor, but like that's not it. It's in my mind, it's like, okay, so I won't be able to have this in a week or whenever, like when prep starts. So like I need to eat it all now. Like if I don't know how to just have like one little piece or like, I tasted it. Or like, like this is a cheat meal. No, I need a cheat weekend. Like I start cheating on Friday. I don't stop cheating until Monday morning when I wake up. And it's the idea of like, get it all. You got to eat it all now because you won't be able to have it again. That's not very healthy. And then like, I will tell other people like, there are no good or bad food groups. Like everything is good in moderation. Like I'm such a fucking hypocrite because I'll be like, oh, I can't eat that. Like, and then I'll like have a day by myself or like whatever. And I go crazy.
I've been waiting for this.
No, seriously, I go crazy. Like binge eating, like bad. I will start the day with Starbucks and then go get a donut and then go get something else and then go back to Starbucks because my first chai wasn't good enough. Like, yeah, I want bread now and I want this. So yeah, that's not very healthy. So yeah, I think I'm working on that, but it's highlighting it right now.
What do you think, what were your habits like growing up? Like, were you guys allowed, or were you guys not allowed to have a lot of things?
Yeah. My mom was a fucking almond mom, low key. Like we didn't eat fast food. She didn't keep snacks in the house. Like we didn't eat a lot of processed food. My mom is like a whole food type of girl. My mama don't cook. So it's very interesting that you want us to be whole food individuals and you're not wholly getting your ass in that kitchen. But we ate like a lot of apples. Like my mom was the type of like
we ate a lot of apples.
My mom, still to this day, I promise you, like in her car, she probably has an apple. Like she keeps an apple in her purse at all times. Like I don't know. We like snacks. She would buy like the chips, like the variety pack of chips. But like we couldn't ever have like cosmic brownies or like Oreos and shit like that. We could never eat pizza rolls. Like Toaster strudels, Pop-Tarts, none of that shit. Mom did not play that shit. We did not have that shit in the house. Even cereal, it was like
Cheerios.
Fucking Cheerios and Kicks. Girl, no Fruity Pebbles. Oh, we can eat Frosted Flakes. That was
wow.
Of all things, because they like fucking Frosted Flakes. What's the ones that are like with the little frog? I don't know, but honeycomb.
Oh, Schmacks.
Yeah, Honey Smacks or whatever. Yeah, so, but nothing with like artificial flavors and sugars and all that other bullshit. And so I think I would, at home, it was like that, like we didn't eat pork and stuff, and then we would go to like our cousin's house, and I would
have everything.
Like I remember being at like one of my cousin's house, and they was country as hell, girl. They had snacks for fucking days. They had so many snacks. And I remember I kept going to the cabinet. I remember her being like, we know your mom don't got no food over there. We know you hungry. I'm like, yes, please. Let me have another fucking Cosmic Crunch or whatever the fuck. But so I think growing up, there were so many things that like I couldn't eat. And then I remember when I started, like when she kind of got lax on it, like, okay, y'all, like middle school, kind of going into high school, she kind of didn't care as much. I got fat as fuck. I got so fucking fat. And then I was like,
crazy.
I was going crazy. And I then, you know, I think I'm going through puberty. The whole like, that whole thing started to kick in. So I'm like, fuck, now I'm fat. And I like boys and nobody likes me because I'm fat. Like, you know, it was like a whole thing. And I remember being like, I'm not going to eat school lunch anymore. I'm going to pack my own lunch. And just all these things because that's when I became aware of it, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that definitely shaped the way I look at food now because I'll be like, I can't eat that. Like, can't eat this, can't eat that. Until I have a moment where I want to binge, which, you know, you can't do that when you're trying to be a fucking professional bodybuilder. But yeah, what were your eating habits like growing up?
At my dad's house, we didn't have a bunch of junk food, but it didn't feel like super, super strict. Like we didn't buy, like we always had Raisin Bran for cereal. We had Cheerios, Special K maybe, but he wasn't, I don't think my dad was like, I don't think he made it a big thing. Like it wasn't, my mom though, it was if we had food in the fridge, bitch, it was, we definitely had a lot more junk. Honey buns, whatever cereal. We always have Frosted Flakes too.
I wonder if that was the cheap cereal.
Frosted Flakes?
Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, we just didn't, we weren't taught anything about nutrition, but it was just a lot of junk at my mom's house. And then I feel like growing up, like when I started to become an adult, I feel like now I'm a lot more conscientious of like the food that we buy and like the food that we eat.
Super conscious.
Yeah.
This is our organic household.
Yeah, it is.
They don't fucking play.
Organic.
All the kids eat organic snacks.
I just started like buying the so you know like the PB&J sandwiches or whatever. Bitch, I just started buying like the Smuckers ones. I used to buy the fucking Sprouts whole wheat version.
I used to be
nobody but me would eat them.
Girl, I be
like, yeah, the kids don't like that. Well. But yeah, I feel like I was really, really slim until high school. I don't think I started gaining weight. And even then I remember, bitch, I used to always be 117 pounds, bitch. I weighed myself junior year and I was like 130 and I was like,
bitch, got some hips now.
What? 30?
You liquor.
And then, I feel like, yeah, like when I was like 21, I had gained a lot of weight, then I lost it. But my weight has been up and down since. Yeah. Like I stepped on that scale and saw 130.
Bitch, start binge dieting.
And it's so funny because when I was younger, I remember, girl, I thought I was thick as fuck. Like, I remember comparing
did you want to
be
thick though?
Yes, bitch. I remember comparing my butt to like my little freaking 5th grade friends being like, my butt is so much bigger than yours. And I remember I went through this phase where I wanted to be super thick, so I would eat a bunch of cheese sticks. I would come home.
Girl, farting everywhere, constipated as fuck.
And eat more and more and more cheese sticks. And I was like, I want to be thick. I want my butt to be big. And I don't remember what set that trend for me in my head. That was before BBL. Baby, that was pre-BBL era.
Really?
I don't know if it was like magazines. I don't know what it was. I don't know what made me want a big butt. But yes, I remember I would come home and I would eat all the cheese sticks and I'd look for more snacks. And be like, oh, what else can I eat so I can get thick?
So I get this fat ass.
Girl, and then I remember being in high school, right? And I had we were skinny. Like my stomach, there was no it was just flat. And I remember this guy, his name was Trey.
Fuck you, Trey.
And he was talking about how girls with super, super, super flat stomachs, their stomachs looked weird. They were he was I like a little whatever, it gotta have something, but I don't like no. And I was thinking, dang, my stomach is so flat. My stomach looks weird. And I remember then wanting a little, I just wish it was a little bit fluffy, just a little something, just not flat, bitch. Until I seen that 130, I said, oh. And I saw a picture of myself in a fucking
Regina George.
Bitch in a dress, in one of the skin tight dresses, and bitch, I had a little.
Where your organs
flat
sit?
tummy again? Yes, bitch. I wanted my flat tummy. I didn't give a fuck about them organs. I want a flat tummy. And then I feel ever since then, it was a roller coaster, plus or minus 20, 25 pounds on any given day, any given week, always up and down. And then now, I think I definitely will have moments where I binge. And I overeat and I'll be but I feel I don't have as much of I'm not competing. So I'm not thinking to myself oh, in a week I can't have this. I'm just it's probably not good for me to eat, but I don't care. That's more so the mindset versus I got to get it all in right now. It's excuse me. It's but then I feel I don't know. I feel I'll be really, really on it. And for me, it's a proximity thing.
Explain, Kelsey.
My man is a sweet tooth.
I haven't done no sweet tooth activity in a long time.
You just came home with a bag of trolleys.
That doesn't count. Before that.
So I think it's a proximity thing. I think it's really easy for me to not snack if the snacks are not in the house. If I don't buy the snacks, hello, I'm not gonna go out and go eat the snacks. But if the snacks are here, it's a discipline thing. I don't have good. That's what I was gonna say too when you were talking. I wonder, it's a scarcity thing, but I wonder if it's by way of just having lack of discipline.
I would say yes, but also no, because when it's time for me to get on it, when I first started with Patrick, bitch, I was strict on that fucking little 12, whatever little calories I was on.
But I wonder, is that discipline or is that your hyperfixation?
So that's what I was going to say. I was about to say, honestly, I think it may be a ADHD thing, the need to be all in.
And the one day that you throw it off,
I'm fucking
you're
off.
fucked.
I'm fucked. Yeah. And I don't know, but I feel I've always been like that. It's so crazy. When you explained that the other day, it made so much sense because I think about going, back to the body thing, right? I remember in high school, my other bestie, Kendall, we were constantly
finding
on
a diet.
some new diet trend. Bitch, we were doing the lemonade, with the cayenne pepper and the fucking lemon in the water. We did that.
Oh, bitch,
we were doing
same.
the fucking military diet where you eat a hot dog and some stupid shit. Girl, we were always finding something. And don't let it be time for spring break. We would...
You want to starve for a day?
No, bitch. The week leading up to spring break, we would go and buy water pills and take the water pill, the diuretics, get the water pills and be taking the water pills for a week up until fucking spring break. Bitch, shit my fucking brains out, bitch. We be in class all fucking lightheaded and shit. Oh, it's okay, girl. We would wear, we would wrap ourselves in Abilene, boxers and stuff do it. You slather yourself in Abilene, similar to the sweet sweat,
and the
little cream.
Yeah.
Yes. Saran wrap, sweatband, 2 sweatshirts, bitch, and walk around school all day like that. Sweaty as fuck, trying to get so skinny before spring break. It's no, it's okay. You're gonna pass out, but it's okay. We're gonna be so skinny on the beach.
Don't worry about it,
bitch, this is insane. You're actually skinny. I go back and look at my high school pictures, and I was never skinny. I had always been really solid, built very, I got thick thighs. I've always been built like that. But like I was an athlete, like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't fat. I was solid, but I wasn't fat. And I went to school with all them white girls and they was all fucking
Or
so
like
skinny.
00.
Yeah, 00. And just like, you know what's so crazy? This is a tangent, but the correlation between switching from an all black school and an all white school, I think I became a lot more aware of my body being around white girls.
Because we're shaped so differently.
I feel like when I was in middle school, all the girls was thick. Not thick, not all the girls was thick, but like
curvy,
more whatever. And then that also makes me think like the food, the availability to like the type of food and stuff. Like we were probably all eating bullshit. Not bullshit, but you know, like
process,
lower income. The cheaper.
Yeah.
Anyways. But I was constantly looking for something to make myself skinnier or thinner or whatever little diet trend that was out at the time. I was trying it. Like, I don't give a fuck what it was doing, anything. I remember one time I had read somewhere like the more hydrated you are or something. I was like, oh my God, my mom can't give me an IV. It'll flush out all the fat. Oh, that was like my brain, my thought. Like, okay, if I just flush it out, then I'll pee it all out and be gone. I'll be skinny.
Who puts this in our head? And then it's like it really is determined. Like society determines it. It's not like we actually genuinely are asking ourselves, do I like this look? Like they're setting the trend and we're like, okay, we have to follow it. Like the same way that being fucking thicker than a Snicker, that was, like 2010s up until now. I feel like now we're in a new era where it's turning a curve again. And now it's like cool to be skinny again because they're trying to prep us for fucking starvation. But like that's another thing. But now it's like, everybody wants to be super thin again and they're getting their BBLs fucking removed or reversed. Child, all these fucking trends. But yeah, I became very aware of it after that 130. And I've never seen 130 since.
Yeah, I was probably 130 in like, I ain't gonna hold you, like middle school. Bitch.
Oh yeah, you just
always
went
been
through
big.
like a chunky.
Yeah, always been like a little chunky.
That's crazy because like your disposition now naturally is so much smaller than mine. Like I feel like an average for me, like a normal thin, like fit is like 180, maybe like I feel like 170s I would look pretty thin. Yeah. And I feel like your norm is like 150s, maybe even like 160s.
Where I sit like and I look like, oh, she looks thin. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This girl at Walmart yesterday, I left the gym and she's like, do you work out? I was like,
yeah, girl.
Yeah. And I've never said this like to anybody, but I was like, yeah, I'm a bodybuilder.
Period. She was like,
oh yeah, girl, because I was watching you reach for the chicken and you got a gym body. I said,
that's what we want to hear. Y'all wonder why we walk around half naked in the fucking gym and y'all think it's for men, but it's not. It's for that. It's for that.
That is right all there. It's for.
Right there.
I look like I be in the gym.
Thanks,
she said, how long did it take for you to get like this?
She's planning her routine in her hair right now. Okay,
she's like, God,
for 5
girl,
days.
She was so cute. And so like, we're just like talking. She's like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hold you up. I'm like, no, bitch, you can keep talking about me.
Period. Okay. Tell me more.
It's okay.
Oh, hell, Janae.
Literally, I was like, girl, every time, like, now I'm walking down the store and I'm like looking at it, like, in frozen
reaching
aisle,
for extra shit.
Bitch, I'm looking at myself in all the little reflections, like, damn, I do got a gym body. Bitch,
I think that's a good segue into whiteboard confessions. So we had asked you guys some questions on our Instagram story, and we got some really great answers, but we're also going to answer them for y'all, and then we'll go over some of the answers that we received.
Yes.
So,
finally, I've been waiting to go to school all day.
Whiteboard confessionals. We got to get that down.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is fill in the blank. My body is blank.
Are you going to write what you put on the actual response, or are you going to write something else?
Maybe.
Okay. It's always a bitch like that. Like, Kelsey was that girl in class. She don't want to help you cheat. I would have helped you cheat.
I for sure was hot.
Because you want to be the smartest. Like,
no, bitch, because why I have to go home and study and you think that you finna just look at my paper after I done fucking
maybe I studied too.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, sometimes I did study.
Please shut the fuck up.
Alicia used to be like that.
Because, bitch, no.
Be working her ass off.
I'm not gonna lie. Now, if it's a thing where like, okay, for real, if it's a thing where like, we volley, like there may be a test I don't study for and you did study, but you can't just never fucking study and think you finna cheat off me every day.
I was studying for the shit I wanted to study for. She was studying for everything.
She don't want to do nothing she don't want to do. And you think that you gonna look at my paper? Bitch, I studied for everything and you want to...
Whatever. I knew I wasn't gonna be no mathematician.
Flashbacks. Neither. Bitch, I'm not good at math neither, but guess what? Bitch, I studied.
Bitch used to be in office hours. She'd be like, you should go to tutoring. I'm like, bitch, I ain't going to office hours, bitch. Go for the both of us. Anyways.
Fucking entitled. The fuck, bitch.
I sure would.
So the teacher look up.
Bitch.
Fuck off my
Girl. Okay, wait. What is it? My body is.
Your body is. My body is.
Bitch. They're gonna fucking blast me because I don't know how to spell.
This girl be talking shit about everybody. And that bitch can't even fucking spell.
It's that girl who corrected
I
my
can
thing. I don't give a fuck.
Girl, fuck you. Anyways, you ready?
Okay, yep.
1, 2.
Oh, we're the same person. What? What? Oh, my little up. I was like, is it A? I had A first, and I was like, that don't look right.
Capable.
Able. That's what I put first, but it was like, it didn't
First
look
mine,
right.
babe. My board says life, magical, T as fuck, able, powerful. Self-explanatory. No need.
Yeah, mine says my pride and joy, T as fuck, and capable.
Period.
Literally. I feel like my body is the one thing in the world that I can control. So I like that's I take so much pride in it because it's like I really can. I can't control shit else. I can control how good I look.
Our bodies have so many purposes and they bring me joy in so many different ways. It's like, yeah, like the physicality of how it looks, right? Aesthetically, it's very pleasing to the eye. It's very strong. It's very capable. It's powerful. Like it can do any and
Bitch, I
everything.
be pushing weight.
Yeah, like
we play this game called Fire Drill. Like randomly, we'll be like, "It's a fire!" And like you go jump on the person's back and then run to the nearest door.
who played that?
Me and James.
Oh.
No, we play that game. And so the other day he said, it's a fire. So I jumped on his back and ran to the door. Bitch, why I'm gonna say, it's a fire. He gonna pick me up. He said, oh. My mama started laughing. He said, you know, she been eating. She's solid now. He was like, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think we would make it to the door. I said, but it made me feel good. Like, yeah, I could pick your big ass up.
Right. Capable. How often do you compare your body to others?
Oh, we didn't even share what they said about their bodies.
Okay, we'll come back. Ready? Set.
Not as often.
So I said, my board says silently, daily. Consciously, not as often. And the reason I say silently is because even if I'm not actively like, oh, her body versus my body, there's like, if I see a bitch that's taken with a fat ass, I'm automatically thinking of my ass and what it looks like. If I see some fucking titties, like I'm always thinking about what mine looks like in comparison to somebody else's. And maybe not always from the scope of like getting down on myself, but I'm always comparing, period. Or like observing and like, you know, but consciously, I feel like if I'm having a moment of like body dysmorphia, then of course, yeah. But I feel like I can look at a body and be like, she's taking it without feeling bad about myself, you know, because I feel like on most days I do feel like I'm taking it. Now, if I'm fucking in my luteal phase and I'm feeling fat and fucking Big Bertha and whatever,
tell me like, gonna get that damn.
You know what I'm saying? It depends on the day. I would say maybe like twice a week. Once a week.
That's good.
For like actually comparing, but like noticing or, you know, like every day. The other one.
I think mine is every day in general. I don't think I used to as much, but I think now.
Bodybuilding?
I'm competing in a sport where you're compared on how you look. So like I compare myself to other people every single day.
Yeah, you're also like looking up other competitors every single day.
Yeah, every day. My whole feed is different competitors.
Bikinis like, and
different girls at the gym
who
compete. Yeah. So yeah. Every day.
Whatever. So for the last question, some of your answers for the describe your body question were magical, T, a portal to a whimsical like galaxy.
Love that
able,
one.
Powerful, fat.
Which, you know,
that's honest. Some days I feel fat.
Yeah, some days I feel fat.
I felt fat like 2 days ago.
Think about all the other things your body can do and has done and, you know, all those things. And like try to put that at the forefront. Not like I'm fat.
Yeah. But also like if you don't like that, we all have the power to change it.
Yeah.
You know?
Fat is...
Walk. Literally.
I want to say fat is a choice, but for some people, fat is not a choice. But...
Unless you have like a health
That's what I'm saying. For some
problem
people, like, fat really isn't a choice.
But if your body is able to move, then move it.
Yeah.
You know?
Then fat is a choice.
And also, like we talked about earlier, the choices that you make with what you put in your mouth, you know, that discipline, it goes a long way. What was the last question? How many times do you compare yourself? So for that one, that was split 60-40, 60% not often, 60% of you guys said not often, 40% of you guys said every day. So this is, you know, we're just girls, man. And I don't know if men had answered, because we did get a few male voters as well.
I think too.
But yeah, I think it's human to like look at and see and notice a difference. And especially, like I said, since you're competing, you kind of that's your job is to have the best body, you know? So like.
I think men probably compare themselves a lot too, though.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like having all my gym bros, I'd be like, y'all niggas, y'all worse than us. His back is so big, man.
You did 50 sit-ups. I've got to do 60.
Yeah.
You're not going to out-push it me.
Literally.
Ciao.
Anyway.
We all do it. Okay. What is one thing that helps you feel confident in your body?
I'm keeping my same answer.
Me too. Don't look.
No.
Ready? Set.
Mine says wearing no fucking clothes, specifically in the gym,
Love
nudity highlighted because I grew up in a nude household, okay? I love walking past. I got like 10 mirrors. I don't even live in a big apartment, but I got a mirror and multiple mirrors in every room. I like looking at myself. I'm so fucking obsessed with myself. And to see myself naked and I look good.
Be like, ooh.
Or to see myself in the gym and I look fucking good with no fucking clothes on or little to no fucking clothes on.
Yeah.
With a pump. Oh, baby.
Flow state.
That's...
I should have put that one too.
Make her wet it in a waterfall.
Agree.
I'm telling you, love it.
Mine says compliments, feeling strong in the gym, and not running out of breath going up my stairs.
Oh, bitch, that's a good one, especially
one.
in this fucking house.
If I can get up, we've got 3 flights of stairs in this house.
And they're not like regular flights, bro. It's
like 20 each.
Yeah, there's some big
20
ass
steps
fucking
each.
flights.
Okay, if I can get up a flight of stairs without, I'll be like, dang, Endurance, is that you?
That's how I felt when I just ran up the stairs earlier to put my mascara on. I said, maybe I can't be a runner, bitch.
But compliments, yes. Like that girl had said, like, do you work out? That's my, whenever I have a trainer and they're like, what's your goal? My goal is to look like I work out. I don't want to look like, I don't want to look like the fucking smallest, teeny, tiny model, but I also don't want to look like the biggest, strongest. I just want to look fit. That's what I want. I want to look fit.
You know what else? I didn't put on my board, but compliments from like super fit people. Like not that compliments from people who aren't fit, like don't hit the same, but like I'm gonna keep the rest of my statements to myself.
But
compliments from fit people, oh bitch, that does it for me. I'm like, you think I look good?
You really
Do you
know
see you? Oh bitch. Ugh.
Yeah. It's like being complimented from like a super hot girl. You know?
Yes,
like
it's like you're fine as fuck. And she's like, you're so pretty. You're like,
yes,
what,
we are
bitch?
so
I'm
pretty.
Over here, like fiending over you.
So some of the responses that you guys gave us were the mirror, not looking like how many kids I've had, working out, no clothes in the gym, compliments first. Oh, yeah, okay, period. Compliments.
Yeah.
Love those.
It's so crazy how many of us get validation from other people seeing us.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all
but
get
it's so crazy
because
I'm saying like people try to act like I don't care what other people think.
We all do
and
to an extent.
Okay,
in
yes,
some
you
category.
do.
You may not care about what people think about this specific thing.
Yeah, but some
something.
things you do. Yeah.
How would you describe your relationship with food? The options are A, it's great. I eat a pretty healthy, balanced diet. B, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to it unless my body changes. C, I hyperfixate. I pay attention to every little thing that I eat and limit myself heavily. Or D, yo-yo diet. I'm constantly finding new diet trends and have cheat days often.
What does yours say, Kelsey?
Mine says A, C, and D. So sometimes it's great, bitch, and I eat a balanced diet and I'm taking it and I'm so fucking proud. And then sometimes I hyperfixate on everything and I'm like, you can't have a grain of fucking rice. You can't have an ounce of sugar. And then sometimes, I be having a new little diet to hop on too. And I'll be like, oh, I should do this because this is going to help with this.
Kelsey
this is going to help with that.
Queen of, okay, so.
I love a trend.
I seen this on TikTok.
I love a trend.
Before I got on TikTok,
girls are
for
doing...
real, she would always be like, okay, so I saw this on TikTok. I was like, Kelsey, you can't believe everything you said. But no, everybody's saying on TikTok.
How the tables have turned, because, bitch, look who be believing everything on TikTok now.
Bitch. I put A and C because, I discussed it at the beginning. Sometimes I'm really, really great.
Locked in.
And locked the fuck in. And I am, very nice to myself. And then sometimes, bitch,
Fat fucking Big Bertha.
Fat fucking bitch.
Fat tub of lard.
No, I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah. We should put a camera in my house.
Should we?
That would be funny.
I don't think you're gonna like the way that you're sitting.
Thank you for that. I was just sitting like a YN. Come to mama. Breathe. Yeah, bitch gotta breathe.
So we asked that question to you guys as well. Where is it? I guess we didn't.
No, we did, but I think it was kind of mixed, the responses.
Yeah.
So
the next one is, what is your earliest memory of food shaming? A, being told stop eating by an adult. B, being told you need to eat more or you're too skinny. C, having your eating habits compared to other people's habits. Or D, I honestly can't recall or don't have any.
I wish people was telling me I was too skinny. It's like a dream of mine when I was a kid. You're not hungry. You don't want another piece. Instead, everybody was like, damn, bitch, you're just gonna keep eating. Mine says A. I told y'all I was a fat kid. I have a lot of memories as a child of being shamed about what I was eating. A lot. So, yeah, that was never a thing for me. You're too skinny, whatever. Which is crazy because, let's get into it. All them bitches in my family are fat. All of them.
Maybe they were projecting. That's a nerve.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna hold y'all. My mom was as skinny. My mom is one out of all her. It's fucking a million of them. No, because let's talk about it. My granddaddy fat as fuck. My biological, y'all gonna be fucking telling me to stop eating. But how the tables have turned. We went on a family vacation a few years ago when I was fresh into my veganism and whatever the fuck.
You were super locked in.
I was super locked in, so skinny, and they were making fun of me because I didn't want to dance in a fried chicken video with them. I'm look at y'all big as fuck. Anyways.
Yeah, I think maybe they were projecting and maybe they saw they probably tell themselves that every day, stop eating, stop eating, stop eating, Mine is B. They wouldn't really say to us you're too skinny, but they would be you eat like a bird. Or I remember my grandmother always saying, you never know. That's a Black thing. That's that trauma that comes from trauma.
You don't know where the food gonna go?
You don't know where your next meal is gonna come from. You never know what could be your last meal. And yeah, that's true. But also, you never know if you're gonna step outside and get hit by a bus. But I'm not putting that fear in a kid.
My mom was gonna always make sure it was food on our table. I don't give a fuck. Maybe y'all wasn't gonna have no food.
We didn't really. I think, okay, so when we lived with our mom, it definitely was I just bought groceries yesterday. I just spent $300 on groceries and y'all gonna eat everything by tomorrow. But that wasn't a fat shaming thing. That was we don't got the money for this. So y'all are eating everything and I don't have the money to replenish it, But I don't think, and we were also, I'll save actually this part because I know we have another question coming that I think will actually be in alignment.
Yeah, no. James could eat whatever the fuck he wanted. Nobody talked about James when he
was
got fat.
He
was fat too. That little nigga was in shorts.
But goes to show you that the standard for men and women are very different. He's not judged by his fucking appearance. He's going to be judged by his
ability to perform.
Yeah, his performance in society and his gauge of success and his finances and stuff like that. Whereas women, we are always criticized for the way that we look. We're not expected to be successful or make a lot of money or have a business or whatever. But you need to be hot, and that's it. Hot and skinny. But skinny, they're mutually exclusive because you got to be skinny to be hot in their minds. In my mind.
Right. But I was thinking, I'm like, maybe in everybody's mind.
What was that, sister?
What first made you aware of your body?
Okay, so you guys answered that.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. How often? No.
Yeah, no. Your first memory of food shaming.
Okay, so those answers were split between you need to eat more and stop eating. Nobody said can't recall or anything. Yeah. You guys all said one
person did say they couldn't recall, and like, I love that for you, but
Ariana, what are you doing here?
Yeah, like this ain't for you. Like,
we appreciate the response, though. It helps.
No, I'm just playing.
We enjoy collecting the data. What first made you aware of your body? Was it A, family comments, B, school/peers, C, sports/dance, or D, social media?
I think I'm gonna choose 2. Okay.
What does yours say?
A and C.
Sports?
Yeah, I think my family made it more apparent, but playing sports made it like exacerbated.
Like the teammates, the coach, like
both.
Or just seeing yourself?
All 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just like being open and like aware, and even like theater, honestly. I wouldn't say necessarily so much of sports, because I think my coaches always did a good job of understanding that different bodies had different purposes, like especially in volleyball, you know, like short girls have a purpose, tall girls have a purpose, like heavier girls have a purpose. Everybody has a purpose on the court.
Yeah.
But I think theater, you know, you be real naked backstage and real like that. Yeah, you be real wide open. So it's kind of like, oh my God, like, what the fuck? She getting the roles because she's tiny? Shit like that. Yeah.
When I said A, our family was always, and not even just family, but like other people, like church people. I told you we were complimented on our legs. I can't even tell you how young, which is so strange. It's so strange. I mean, yeah, that's so strange. Like, because even with the kids, like I notice like Shy's body and like how she's shaped and stuff like that, but I don't ever bring that to her attention, and I don't ever say it in a way that I feel like whatever. I don't say it period to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were complimented and noticed for our bodies, our long legs, our gram legs. That was like a thing. Having like nice thick thighs. Yeah, very young. So family members and others, like before even social media was a thing, before I didn't play sports until high school. So yeah, I've known well before that. And like being fucking catcalled by men. Yeah. Very, very young. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people said that. Yeah, most people say family, which, like, you know, honestly, and in all communities, but in the Black community, we got to do a better job of that. Yeah. Like the way we speak to children. Obviously, my experiences are my experiences. Your experiences are your experiences. But I think about like the stuff that I see, you know, now that I'm an adult and I see my age range of people parenting, you know, children and things. And even if you don't say it directly to yourself, to your children, the way you treat yourself and talk about others and things like that, that relates. Like,
yeah.
I remember one time, I think Kendall was telling me Kennedy had said something to her, and she was like, well, you say that all the time to yourself. Oof. And it's like, what are you explaining to her? You know what I'm saying? Being mean to yourself or always calling yourself fat or whatever the case may be, you know?
Yeah. How you talk about yourself. That's what I was saying. Your aunties probably felt like that about themselves, like your family members and stuff. They probably were telling themselves 24/7, stop eating, put that down, you can't have that.
About me when they see this. Like, Janae's on the internet calling us fat. Y'all was in my face calling me fat, so.
Question. What? If we were to look in the mirror.
I'm going to be honest.
Would we?
Yeah, no, I'm going to be super honest. Y'all know I'm not honest with the family. I'm not telling them no new information.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, why would you be mad?
It would probably just be like, why would you say that? Y'all know I ain't never had no problem saying shit.
But, okay, you know, that's a thing. Like, the whole, you say anything about somebody being fat, whether you're saying, hey, this is not healthy, or, like, even if you're not poking fun or, like, judging or trying to come from a malicious place. You say anything about a person's weight when they're overweight, and it's like, you're fat phobic, you're this, you're
but
that.
if you say something about skinny,
saying,
saying something about a skinny bitch, you have no problem talking shit about somebody being skinny.
Talking about you eating like a bird, or talking about how you look like skin and bones, or how you're fucking, you need to eat a cheeseburger. Like, it's never looked at as bullying or shaming or anything when it's skinny. Like when and I feel like this is the case period of when somebody meets when someone meets like the conventional standards of beauty, right? Like, it's perfectly fine to talk about their image and pick them apart. But if you're outside of what fits the beauty standards, then, you know, all of a sudden that's off limits. But if it's off limits, it should just be off limits, period.
But that's the thing, though. It's never going to be off limits because, like, one, I don't think the beauty standard is ever going to be like fat. So it's like there's always going to be.
I think it depends where you are.
The Western beauty standard, like that is true. The Western beauty standard,
pedophilic.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going with it, because it's like the closer you are to small, the closer you are to fucking childlike, and like we talk about this every fucking episode, so I don't have to like go into depth about that, but that's gonna always be the beauty standard. I feel like in Western culture is to be as thin and frail and small as possible and whatever, and I think you're always going to get a pass for that. You know what I mean? You're always going to get a pass for that. And I think people who are bigger, who... yeah. No, I ain't going to hold you that fat list. Like, y'all was like, goddamn, Azalea, like, you're a crackhead. So... Anyways, bitch, I'm trying to be serious.
I don't know why it keeps popping into my head.
Have you seen the video where she says that?
Yes, you've showed it to me.
Fat Lizzo. Like, what is wrong with you? But even that, like, y'all, this is the thing too, though. Like, did you see that video I sent you the other day when she was like, I can't stand a fat girl
bitch that lose weight?
But I get it though, because if I was fat, I'd be like, that fat motherfucker here, this fat bitch there. Like,
I wasn't meant to be skinny because I'd be one of them.
I'd be one of them. But I think that also, too, society isn't forgiving of people who, like, decide to change their lives like that either. Like, when you're fat, that just feels so bad to keep saying, but if you're fat and you decide,
you're
like,
heavier.
Okay. If you're bigger.
I don't know, like,
if you're fat. Like, if you're fat and you decide, okay, now I want to change, like, whatever. I don't feel like people are as receptive to...
Like Meghan Trainor.
Yes, they're not as receptive to you wanting to change your body or whatever. Or I know a lot of people who are like, oh, well, you just want to get skinny because of this, or you da-da-da-da. Like, no, maybe I have fucking high A1C. Maybe I have fucking high... Maybe the doctor told me I was in a risk of fucking having type 2 diabetes. So now I don't
regardless of the fucking reason. Remember, I told you, I just saw this video. I'm trying to make 2 points at once, right? Okay, so I just saw this video of the girl. You know the videos where like you turn around and you say something like super controversial and you're like, oh, who said that? She basically made one about how we have started to normalize obesity as body positivity. And she's like, body positivity is loving your body. And if you loved your body, you would move it. She never said anything about you need to be sick. She said you would fuel it with good foods that are good for you, not poison, not things that you know are killing yourself. You would go to the gym, you would work out, you would do whatever to move your body and take care of it. But I think it's the same thing as, remember the conversation that we had about masculinity and about how I'm so glad that the toxic hypermasculinity is being talked about, but I feel like it's creating a thing where now you don't see masculinity as a good thing at all. Like, it can't be a good thing. It's never healthy, and that's not the case. And I feel like the same thing about our bodies, right? We should not have to be 110 pounds at 5'10", right? But that doesn't mean that we need to be 250 pounds at 5'10". Like, you need to take care of yourself. It's important to take care of yourself. And I feel like, because sometimes people like to sit in their misery, if I'm fat and I'm okay with being fat and I'm okay with not being healthy, then everybody else should be too.
Should welcome that. This is what I was going to say, kind of like on that same thing, is I'm judgmental of people who make bad health decisions. I'm not judgmental of you for being fat.
For looking a certain way.
Yeah, I don't care if you, because I know some bigger girls who get fucking active in that gym and they eat good and they do whatever. Their body just naturally, that's their disposition to be a little bit heavier. And I know skinny girls who have fucking awful eating habits, and I still look at you the same way, like, bitch, why don't you drink water? Why do you not go to the gym?
Why don't you eat vegetables?
Why don't you eat vegetables? Like, I'm judging you just as hard as the bigger girl
person, yeah.
Who, you know what I'm saying? I'm judging y'all the same. And it's not because of the way that you look. It's because of your bad habits.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. I think, like, to me, personally, I can't speak for everybody else or society. It's a health thing. Like, why don't you care enough to fuel your body and to do, like, you don't care, you don't love yourself. Like the girl said, you cannot love yourself if you're not doing the things to
take care of yourself, skinny or fat.
To take care of yourself. And it's like sleeping, eating, fucking what you decide to consume in your mental, all of that goes into it. But you're not going to convince me that I should be okay with you being big and you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Now I don't care. Like, I'm not going to be soft about it. I don't
like,
care.
yeah, but it comes to a point. I think that's period. Like, mic drop. Like,
it comes to a point.
It gets to a point, you know?
Yeah.
And I do think that it should start when you're younger, because anything that you start at a younger age is going to be easier for you to bring into your adult life. But again, it comes to a point, or it gets to a point, you know? And so you do have to decide when you're an adult whether or not you want to be healthy, whether or not you want to fucking eat cheeseburgers every day and fucking have a heart attack by the time you're 45.
And you don't have to be, I say all the time, like, I was talking to the girl at the gym, Jonay. We were talking,
girl.
She's a competitor too. She competes in a different federation, but she was saying how when she started to get really serious about her fitness, she started to realize some of her relationships had fallen off. And she's like, it's not because I liked you any less as a person or everything. Our goals started to not align. I don't want to drink every weekend. I have shit to do. I don't want to, I don't want to sit around and smoke and get high and go to sleep. I might want to smoke and go to the gym. And so she's like, I'm not judging you, but like now I'm judging you, because it's like, why don't you want to be better? And she's like, the people I have in my life, I want them to care about themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's genuinely what it is. That's where the judgment comes from. I need you to care about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to care enough to, like I said, you don't got to be no fucking professional bodybuilder. You don't have to be a fucking professional athlete. You need to care enough to want to live longer.
Yeah.
To want to be able to breathe.
Life. That's how I feel too. Like, even with going to the gym, it's not about simply the way that you look, but it's about not only taking care of like your heart health and taking care of your joints and your bodies, but it's also like your mental health, because that's an outlet for you to just expel energy. So I just think it's a layered thing. And I don't think it's just about people saying like, I don't think you should pick on someone just because you don't agree with their choices. Yeah. However, I do think that, you should be able to say in conversations like this, I'm just going to walk up to a fat person and be like,
you need to fucking be in the gym. Like, no.
Bitch, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My judgment comes from people who I know in my personal circle.
And we're talking and we're,
yes, and I know, and I'm watching you fucking actively get Big Macs and shit and take a nap afterwards, like shit like that.
And think nothing of it.
Yeah. What do you feel about, because we talked about society and we talked about things like that. And you had said earlier that, they're preparing us to starve. The trend with kind of like weight loss supplements and GLP-1s. And
yeah, I feel like the trend was BBLs, right? Not too long ago, everybody wanted to be super, super, super fucking thick with a teeny tiny waist. And now everybody, all of the celebrities and people that everywhere, like Ozempic took the nation by fucking storm, right? And I am all for doing whatever makes you happy. I think there were a lot of people. Yeah, I think a lot of people were struggling with their eating habits, and Ozempic helped a lot of people who had been trying to lose weight for a long time lose weight, and I'm not knocking that at all. Is Ozempic a peptide?
I'm gonna shut up.
Okay, because peptides are also really popular for that too, for curbing appetite and stuff like that. However, I do think that it looks like there's a bit of an obsession, even to the point, I know that Miley Cyrus she was like the cover for like YSL or some kind of luxury brand, and she looked gaunt. And I think
was that an AI image or was it a real image?
That was
not
her.
That I don't. Okay, I was saying not that I don't trust you, but bitch, I don't trust the internet anymore.
No, that was her. But I do think that I feel like
they
I
made
read
an AI version, or they did like a bunch of different ones.
I think they had, when they edited it, like the brand itself, I think they edited it that way.
Okay.
Don't quote me, because I feel like I read something about her saying that. Like, I think she may have shared the raw image or something and it didn't look as gaunt, and then they edited it to make it look like that. So AI, it's the same shit. But it doesn't matter. That was the marketing material for it, you know, like that was what they were trying to push. And what is the drug that Kim Kardashian, she just, how deep are we going to get into this, bitch? Because there was a whole fucking theory about Kim Kardashian. She had endorsed some kind of, I don't know if it was a neuro drug or if it was
I know what you're talking about.
Something, but then there was like a correlation between like the ice, like the high populations of ICE and people that went missing, and the camps or the headquarters and the testing sites for that company. It was something, but it had to do. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know enough
to talk about.
No, yeah, I don't know enough to go back and forth. I've heard of it. I've seen it like on Threads or something a few times, but I don't know enough to go back and forth. So I don't want to be fucking saying
But
stupid
either
shit.
way, I think that with all of the government funding getting cut, with like the food stamps and everything, the rollback on all of these government assistance programs, I think they are planning to starve people, and I think they want to create an image of, you know, everything that you see in the social media. That's like the standard of like opulence, and like that's the standard of like, you know, how you know if you're like the it girl or like the in crowd or whatever. And they're creating an image right now of ultra thing because you bitches are about to be starving. This needs to look like your norm on the regular. So y'all need to get familiar with seeing what the fuck this looks like.
That's another thing I was gonna say. Like with the whole Miley campaign, it's like, okay, this is a luxury brand, and you know, like the idea of like pushing luxury to people, it's always like this is what you should strive for,
right?
To be able to afford this, to be able to acquire this or whatever. I think we talked a while ago. I don't know if we did it here, but we've had the conversation before about how like before like earlier years, 90s, 80s or whatever, the trends change. And over time, like, or the skin color thing, we talked about that. And like now being tan is like the sense of like, oh, you're able to afford vacations.
But porcelain like that. And being pale,
porcelain and being pale used to be the thing, right?
That's
and
the same thing with modest clothing. I just sent you something today about that. Sorry.
Bitch.
About how modesty wasn't about being pure. It was a sign of wealth. Anyways.
But going back to now, fit or being skinny or being thin or whatever, being the thing, that's what you should strive for, because that says it's expensive to be healthy. Like, and I think that's another thing that people don't talk about too. It's like, it's layered. We talk about the government funding and things like that. I told you I had the conversation with my sister and we were talking about her whole life. She's always eating processed food. She's, you know, she grew up kind of always being on government assistance, things like that. That's what you have access to. Right. Versus being able to go to farmers markets on weekends and shit like that. You don't have access to that, right? So you have that layer of people, and these people who have never, not going to say never, but food education isn't really taught to them, you know? And so that's kind of like how you grow up, and then you teach your kids that, and that's how you feed your kids because that's all you know. Now, with the idea of being fit and being whatever, a lot of people can't afford that. You can't afford a gym membership. That's what, you know, you have like Planet Fitness, but like, not trying to be funny, Planet Fitness has pizza parties. Yeah. Like, you know, that's not.
And Tootsie's at the front.
Yeah. You know, but you think of a place like Lifetime.
Yeah.
It's fucking expensive to go to Lifetime. The average person
cannot
afford a gym membership like Lifetime.
$300 fucking membership.
The average person cannot afford high quality meal prep. You can meal prep for sure, but 80% ground beef versus 97% ground beef, there's like a $5 difference. You know what I'm saying? That makes a big difference for someone who is between checks or, you know, things like that. And so it creates this whole thing of like, oh, being fit, there's a standard of like you being better than if you can afford to be fit, if you can afford the Erewhon trips and to shop at Whole Foods and to, you know, all the things.
Yeah, we talked about that, how health, like the healthy lifestyle being the new symbol of wealth. And like health clubs opposed to regular gyms, and like fitness classes opposed to the regular gym.
Right. And that's, I think that like the Pilates wave. Yeah. This is not to knock Pilates because, you know, I love the Pilates girlies. It's expensive. Like all the yoga, all these things, even like with the clothing. I remember years ago, like when I first got into the gym, Nike was like the epitome of like nice gym clothing. And this is not, and maybe it's because I was an athlete, you know, and that's kind of what you know, like Nike, Under Armour, things like that. now athletic wear has been kind of shaped to athleisure and not really for performance. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten clothing from like a better brand or like tried it on or whatever, and I'm just like, this is super cute.
But not practical.
It's not practical. It's not for someone who's like a functional athlete. This is not really what I need. It's cute. But that's the thing. Like, how many people wear athleisure? I haven't even gone to the gym and I have on athleisure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it creates, it's a, not for me, but it's a symbol of like, status symbol. It's a status symbol. There's no reason why a fucking sweatsuit that you're supposed to be like working out in costs $250. That's actually, it's insane.
Yeah.
Especially when it's not practical to be in the gym. I don't think a 2-piece set that's going to ride in my fucking ass and give me a camel toe and the bra's going to be ill-fitting and I'm not going to be able to run and all that stuff. I shouldn't be spending $150 on it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it says something to be able to afford. I don't, there's no reason why an ill-fitting, ill-performing garment, 2-piece, should cost $150. Like, especially if I'm at the gym and someone, like I said, if you're active, if you're wearing it for athleisure, cool. But I think, like you said, it's a status symbol. I think another thing that is astronomical, and I'm not sure it's a status symbol, but it scares me, is like everything being pumped with protein. I don't understand why you need protein cold foam. That shit doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why you need protein fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Fucking, they make protein Uncrustables. They make protein soda. They
Bitch,
make
I just got fucking protein pancakes by accident. Like, not even the kind that like Pearl Milling or whatever.
It's insane. Protein pasta sauce. Everything is extra protein. And the thing is, like, where the fuck is all the protein coming from? Like, something about it just doesn't sit right with me. Like, as someone who, you know, is a health nut and all that stuff, that shit does not sit right with me. Like, I don't, you know, I'm sure in like 30 years there'll be a conspiracy that they were fucking putting lard or something in it. I don't fucking know, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And like, not even just the foods, like I said in the store, restaurants are doing it. Like even Chipotle now, you've rebranded a bowl of fucking chicken as a high protein something. You can get a cup of chicken at Chipotle now or a cup of steak, and they call it our high protein options. It's a cup of fucking chicken. It's a cup of fucking steak. Like, be for real. And then it's like with Starbucks, like high protein cold foam. The drink is still 700 calories.
Yeah.
Full of fucking sugar.
And I wonder, like, are you guys trying to pump us through stuff, or are we just...
We're that fucking gullible.
Are we that dumb?
We're that fucking... That's what I'm
y'all
saying.
Are like, oh, we just slapped this. It's like the whole conspiracy with fucking DoorDash, how they were accused of like offering the quicker times and like they just charge for it, but it doesn't actually get quicker.
Yeah. And then I feel like
quicker.
Yeah, just fucking dumb. But I also think when you really think of like the science of what's a high protein option, there's a calculation to do it. Like, so if something has like 300 calories in it, you take one of the zeros off, and if it has less than 30 or like less than whatever it is, it's not really high protein. It needs to have that amount or more. And so that's the same thing. A lot of these high protein things, you'll look at them, and the macros on the regular version is better than the high protein version. Like, yeah. I think I was looking at something pasta or something, and it was like high protein. It was like 17 grams of whatever protein, but when you look on the side of the thing, 17 grams is only for like 2 serving sizes. The actual serving size only gave you like 9 grams of protein. 9 grams of protein for 150 calories or whatever. That's not high protein. It's just higher fucking calories.
But you know, nobody reads ingredients.
Yeah.
Nobody is me. I look for sugar. That's one thing.
Yeah, you're big on that.
Patrick told me to look for it's like the fat to something ratio. He's
yeah,
like,
I look at fat.
He's like, that's what you should be concerned with. Like, I'm not worried about the sugar as much, but
I look at added sugar just because I know what sugar does to my body and like my pH balance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more concerned with fats content for sure. Like percentage of fats. Carbs, not so much, but fat content, yes, because fat keeps you fat. Fat keeps you fat.
This guy in the chat said, his name's Joe Top Striker. He said, more protein is good for you. He said we don't get enough protein in our diet. And then he said plant protein.
Okay, so protein is good for you, yes, but like majority of people are not professional athletes. You don't need an excessive amount of protein. Like as an average person, you don't need more than 180 grams of protein unless you're a very high performing athlete. Not only that, but we always talk about protein. Y'all don't get no fucking fiber.
That's what I was about to say, fiber.
You don't have enough fiber to digest the protein. That's the thing. Like, if you really pay attention to what you eat and you eat a high protein diet, if you pay attention to the amount of fiber you eat, you're probably constipated. Protein, it fucks with your stomach. You cannot digest it at a high level. That's why they always talk about like red meat and all this stuff and why you can't digest it. The problem is not protein. Y'all don't eat enough fiber. Like, seriously, if you look at the amount of foods, like, if you actually read the ingredient list, you'll look at all these foods and less than 1 gram of fiber. You probably aren't taking fiber supplements, and you're probably not eating the amount of vegetables to require the amount of fiber that you need to digest what you need to digest.
I was going to say, that's the problem with these trends is like, you probably heard someone talking about protein that actually needed the protein. And so now it became a trend for everybody. And everything is not a one size fits all. It's the same thing with the coconut coal. Everybody was talking about these fucking probiotics. But the probiotics need prebiotics to feed on, or else what do you think the probiotics are going to feed? They're going to have nothing to eat. So it's like, so prebiotics, what a probiotic would be like kimchi, yeah?
Yes.
Probiotics, so kimchi fermented.
Like the
probiotics are like the fermented foods, like kimchi, the coconut coat, like the yogurts and stuff like that. And then the prebiotics are the fiber. So the bacteria that is within the probiotic needs the fiber to feed on. That's their food source. So but that's the whole thing about trends and like not knowing not getting all the information. And it's even with the vitamins, certain vitamins that you take. I didn't realize until I went to the hormone specialist that multivitamins are not good because you don't know what your levels are. You don't know what you're actually... Or the time of day
that you take vitamins and the way that it processes in your body. How much
you can only process a certain amount of minerals at one given time. You can only process a certain
amount of protein. Let's fucking talk about it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. But this I know. You can only process a certain amount of whatever in your body at a certain time, or like... If I go to the gym and I eat 200 grams of fucking protein, I didn't really consume 200 grams of protein. Your body can't process that. But going back to what you said, you're creating imbalances. So you wonder why all these people have fucking gut issues. It's because you keep pumping all this fucking protein, all this artificial protein into every fucking thing. Your body can't digest it. You haven't shit in 3 days because you need fiber. You don't need protein, babe. Like... And that's another thing. Y'all not active enough to eat the amount of protein y'all think y'all need to be fucking eating.
Girl, it's the same thing with fucking electrolytes. Like this lady, I saw online somewhere, she had gone to the doctor and I forget what her symptoms were, but her doctor was like, do you drink electrolytes or do you like the electrolyte packets? She was like, yeah, everybody did it. And they were like, they made this big trend about, you need electrolytes. She was like, most people are not active enough for those to actually be necessary in your life. Now, if you're actively working out 5 to 6 days a week, yes, you need some electrolytes. But same thing with water. Like you think that you're going to drink a fucking gallon of water and your body's going to be able to absorb it. But no, you need minerals in the water to be able to absorb it into your body. So it's just...
Y'all are watching these fucking fit people you're watching someone who runs marathons in their fucking free time. Yeah. And they're like, I eat 250 grams of protein a day and drink all of this, They run fucking marathons in their free time. Yeah. So you going to your 9 to 5 and taking the stairs to the 3rd floor is not the same as someone who's running 20 plus miles a day. Like, it's not the same. Y'all don't need the same things. Like, that's another thing. What you're watching and what you're consuming, like, be more realistic. Like, maybe watch a day in the life of a person, who does what you do. Who has a life like you. Who has a life like yours. Watching the day in the life of a fucking Olympian,
you're probably not going to be able to relate to them as much.
Yeah, you might think, but like your body doesn't perform like their body does.
She said you might think.
I mean, that's just the reality of it. Like, I can't look at someone and be like, damn, like she's taking all these things and she probably needs it. Like her job is to be a fitness person. Like, she's a fitness influencer. This is her
we
job.
don't live the same life.
We don't live the same life.
I don't have
babe.
to go as hard as you.
I don't have to go as hard. Like, bitch, I'm not at the gym 6 hours a day. I'm in the gym a lot, maybe like 4. But not 6.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing. Not to like discredit what you're saying, but we have to be realistic about with this whole protein thing.
But that's also why we talked about having a balanced diet, because a balanced diet is knowing what your body needs and knowing how much of each category of food you need to intake into your body. So like you being a bodybuilder, I probably don't need, we don't live the same life, babe. I probably don't need.
I gotta go as hard. I don't need 25,000 calories.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But understanding what that balanced plate looks like for you, but they don't teach food nutrition like this. This is.
But even the food nutrition that they did teach, it's wrong, because why the fuck were grains the highest and this is the whole nother thing, and I don't know if this is like a theory, if it's been debunked or anything, but like the food pyramid. I know the food pyramid has been debunked, but like when you think about it, why the fuck are grains and carbs the largest thing on the food pyramid? That makes no fucking sense.
Because they want.
But that's what I'm saying. I know it's been debunked, but it's like, that's a whole, that's layered too, because it's like, one, that's what's affordable. Two, that's like,
Janae, the man said, I don't want a nation full of thinkers. I want a nation full of workers, and being obese and having terrible eating habits and not knowing what your body needs to thrive. That is exactly what turns you into that controllable, low energy, low effort individual that they want to keep.
Because why would majority of your plate be rice and bread and potatoes
they want you tired
and fucking
exhausted and fat and sluggish and with no energy and no time to even think about anything, because I just want to fucking go to bed.
Yes. And I think that's what I would say too. Like, instead of focusing on like how much protein you're getting, focus on the amount of pure foods that you're eating. Because I think Whole Foods, we both experienced that. Like, we were on, like, I think when we first kind of started with Patrick, we were so big on trying to get our macros, and we were eating fucking Bear Bells and drinking 2 and 3 fucking Core Powers and shakes, and my stomach was tore the fuck up.
I was so gassy all the time.
So gassy. Like, even when I was vegetarian, I struggled so much to get protein and to get so many nutrients. I was constantly eating artificial things to try to like fill those gaps, fill those holes. When I started eating meat again,
her skin started thriving, her hair started thriving, her nails,
my energy, everything changed because I'm just getting whole foods. Like, I still drink protein shakes, but I drink like one a day.
Yeah.
And that's only because like I enjoy the way they taste. I've been drinking them for fucking 5 years straight. So I like the way that they taste, but I could still get my amount of protein without the artificial powder. So saying all that to say, like, stop believing everything you see on the internet. Find what works for you. Take your ass to the doctor. Get some blood work done.
Get some blood work. Get some blood work
done. You know, if you want to start a fitness trend, I mean, not a fitness trend, but, you know, if you really want to get active or whatever, and if you can't afford a trainer, like, by all means, like, do what works for you. But, like, try your hardest to get knowledge from people who know what they're talking about.
And about your body type.
Yeah, your body. You know? Yeah, your body type specifically. Your blood type, all of that. Because, like I said, you and her, y'all don't have the same lives. She don't have to go as hard. You know, so that's my 2 cents on that.
Child, I feel like this episode, I don't even think that we touched on body dysmorphia for real the way that we needed
to. Because, I mean, it's hard to just talk about body dysmorphia and not talk about all the other pillars that go into it.
I think that they're, in our brains, like, we were kind of looking at them as one and the same, but they're two completely different. Like, you've got your eating habits and then you have actual body dysmorphia.
I think it's layered, but I think that you're right. We didn't really touch on body dysmorphia because that's something that outside things can affect, but it's yourself, you know? But I think I would be, like, remiss in saying, or it would be dumb for me to say that, like, probably some of my body dysmorphia doesn't come from all these other things. It does. Like, I'm still going to feel how I feel about myself, but I think those things, all those plethora of layers that we just discussed, heighten it.
Yeah, because the dysmorphia probably comes from it's so important for us to have our own mind. Because all of the insecurities that you have in your brain come from outside opinions and sources. So, yes, if you're taught from a little age, food is bad, put the food down, you eat too much food, like that is in your brain, it's burrowing something, it's planting a seed that's saying food is not good. All food this is not good. Anything sweet, anything savory, anything enjoyable, anything that I like a little bit too much is not good. And so, yes, that creates problems for you in the future now when you're forced with making decisions on your own about what you're going to eat and what you're going to fuel your body, but also still having some of the problems as far as like what's accessible to you, what's attainable to you at this point in time. Like, all of those things go into the mental battle of making the decisions that you have to make in order to look good, feel good, be healthy. Like, yeah, that definitely comes from there. But I do think that there are people who grew up with poor eating habits and that still to this day probably don't have the best eating habits that don't necessarily have the body dysmorphia, because body dysmorphia is looking. We said we were going to read the definition.
Could you please pull up the definition of body dysmorphia from Webster?
Okay, body dysmorphic disorder. Pathological preoccupation with an imagined or slight physical defect of one's body to the point of causing significant stress or behavioral impairment in several areas as work or personal relationships. People suffering from body dysmorphic disorder perceive themselves as ugly, fixating on a slight abnormality or an unimagined or an imagined flaw.
Okay, so this is the thing. I don't think I have body dysmorphia disorder, because I don't think I hyperfixate on like one thing to the point where it is
Affecting.
crippling.
Yeah.
Right? I think I have, that's just like,
You have moments.
I have moments of
It's like having an insecurity
dysmorphic
opposed to
thoughts.
being.
Yeah. I have moments of dysmorphic thoughts that are brought on by myself or whatever outside sources. But like, I'm not sitting here saying I have the disorder, because those are two different things.
Yeah.
I can acknowledge that. But I think that, like you said, I don't know that my dysmorphic thoughts are my own thoughts necessarily. Right. You know, I don't think they're brought on. So, you know, sometimes you gotta watch the way you use words, because now hearing like the actual definition, I don't have that. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it would be that I have. Like I said, maybe I just have dysmorphic thoughts, but like, I don't have crippling anxiety about anything on my body.
Yeah.
Like even my biggest insecurity, I don't think about it unless I think about it. Like even when I'm having sex, I don't think about it unless I think about it. So
yeah, I think the way that you put it was accurate. We just have moments where we'll see something and be like, I don't like this. And then, you know, I think it also depends on like our mood at that time, like our estrogen levels and shit like that.
I will hyperfixate on something for sure.
Yeah, but I don't think it's to the point where like
It's not crippling.
Well.
Read me, bitch.
Well, no. It's like you may not look at it as crippling, but I feel like it sometimes it'll have like a snowball effect and your whole day will be ruined.
Oh, for sure.
And it'll start with this thought about maybe your body. And maybe you'll have more thoughts about your body, but then your mood is so fucked that like everything else is kind of like, meh. And then, you know, you may have some more thoughts about your body. And then I do think it may set the tone for lack of productivity, because when we're upset and we're emotional, we're sad, like we don't feel like, you know, doing quite as much as we're supposed to.
Yes. So I will say like maybe not now, right? I remember in college, my whole freshman year, I never went out. The entire freshman year. The one day I went out, I went to the hospital and got my fucking stomach pumped. I would not go out because I hated the way that I looked. I would get Alicia and Kendall ready. I would do their hair and makeup and do whatever. And I would sit in the house every single time they went out. And they would try their hardest to get me to go out. Like, oh, just wear this. And I hated my body that much that like, there was nothing. I would even sometimes like start the process of, okay, like I'm gonna really go this time. And then no. And so I think like that is probably like my fondest memory of what that sounds like, of what true body dysmorphia sounds like, because there was nothing that could make me feel better about the way that I looked. Yeah. Like nothing. We were going to the gym, like all the things, like I was always getting hit on, you know what I'm saying? Like I was still cute. Like, so that wasn't an issue. Like I genuinely hated myself. And so hearing that, that's what that sounds like. But yeah, I think I do have moments where I'm like, if something doesn't fit right or whatever, and then I can't find an outfit. And then
I think what fits for me for the dysmorphia is like, we will look so good. We both have moments where you'll be like, Kelsey, you look amazing. I'm like, wow, what the fuck do you see? Because I don't see it. Today. And vice versa. And that to me is like the dysmorphic ideology of like, you look so great, but because your stomach is not completely flat, or because you can't see your abs the way that you could see them 2 days ago, or because you have a little bit of bloating, like now you feel like literally Big Bertha. That's literally what we call ourselves.
And it's so
Big
crazy because
Bertha.
no one else can see it. Like, yeah.
So I think that to me is where like I think you're saying you don't align with the part about like it crippling your whole day, because we'll cry and then get the fuck up and be like, whatever. And then literally walk out of the house and be like, I'm the baddest.
No,
bitch on the
it'll
fucking
cripple
planet.
my day for
You know?
sure. Sometimes.
So yeah, I think we have, I don't want
to say I have the disorder.
We have too many already.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna hold you, because
I don't claim
that's
that
like
one.
what I said about like the binging thing. Like I struggle sometimes with saying like I binge eat, which I think that I do, but it's like, you don't have a binge eating disorder. You know what I mean? Like when you sometimes that's just like saying like, oh, you're a little bipolar. Like I feel like it's a little kind of disrespectful to people who are like genuinely fucking struggling with
No, because I think that there are spectrums. I don't, that's like the whole, to me, that just kind of reminded me of like, if you're rich, you don't have problems. Like, no, my problems may not be quite as severe as yours, or like being on the spectrum of like autism. Like, I feel like I got the autism a little bit, but like, am I disrespectful because I'm not like vocally and verbally impaired? Like, no, I think we're on a spectrum, and maybe we're not on like the deepest part of the spectrum because we definitely binge.
Yeah.
You know, and it may not be to the point where we're obese
or like throwing up
but like even
I have eaten to the point where I've thrown up before.
Even fucking like the more that we talk about the ways that we would like quick diet and stuff like that, the more I told you the other day, like, dang, did we have like a little bit of an eating disorder? And also bringing awareness to how common eating disorders have become and how casual it is. And I think that's the reason why we didn't realize that maybe we did struggle with that a little bit, because it's so just like normal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just don't eat for a day. Bitch, that's not healthy. That's not like when we would think about losing weight, our automatic thought was to starve. Like that's you know, and it thankfully had never gotten to the point, it might not have gotten to the point where our health was compromised over it, but that doesn't mean that we didn't struggle with that. You know? Okay. So I definitely think that we both we're on the spectrum of dysmorphic ideologies, because it will ruin our fucking day.
Yeah. Like I said the other day in the gym where I just fucking cried and like whatever. And homeboy,
and she looked amazing.
He's like, what's wrong? You could just see it in his eyes. He's like, what's wrong? I was just like,
everything.
Like whatever. He was like, no, you look great. I'm like,
yeah, you're supposed to say
I'm
that.
I'm gonna go stretch. Like, I don't even want to pick up weight no more. So yeah.
But you know, we're just fucking growing. We're just girls,
just figuring it out day by day. Day by day, we get better and better.
Day by day, our ism list gets longer and longer. You know, and that's maybe the thing about life is being okay with like having a fucking 12-foot long,
a plethora of isms and disorders and disabilities and powering through them. If you don't learn anything else from this podcast, you can learn that you can power through it all.
Power through it all.
Every day.
You can love yourself through it all.
Yeah.
You can accept yourself. You can give grace. You can all the things, because like we list off all of our diagnoses, and I still feel like I'm the coolest, baddest, funniest, most spectacular fairy bitch on the planet. You know, and that's just what it is.
And I look at all them pictures like, oh, you're fat. But then some of the pictures, I'm like, damn, but your ass was so fat. Like I was fat, but then my ass was fatter too. So I was taking it, bitch. I ain't gonna lie, even when we think we be taking it, we be taking it.
We be taking it.
Yeah. Taking your daddy too. No, I'm just playing.
I have my daddy right here. You know, I don't need to take yours.
David's awesome.
Anyways, y'all, we're gonna wrap this on up because, you know, we long-winded, child. But we'll be here the same time, same place next week. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, y'all.
We love y'all.
Love y'all. See you next week. Love yourself as much as we love you.
Yes.
Love yourselves as much as we love ourselves.
We love us. I was saying, love yourself the way we love us. We love y'all, but we love us more. So love yourself the way we love us.
See y'all next week.
Bye.